it's recorded anyway, so people will have a chance to rewatch, or those who did not join yet. Next slide, Jen, please. I don't know whether you wanted to say something about that the session is recorded, that replay are available afterwards, and the way they can do to ask questions, either during using Slido or by raising hands, during the call or after the call, anytime, please. Next slide, please. So, I mean, thank you all very much for being with us outside of working hours. That shows the level of commitment. I wanted to start by say thank you for 2025, although it's a bit late already in 2026, already 2 months on. It has been a great year. I myself have joined very recently in November, and I spend a lot of my time in the recent weeks and months speaking to as many of you as possible, to get to know you, hear about your experience with Quanteam, your experience with your client, hear about your feedbacks. A lot of what we will be saying today will echo things that we have discussed together, and hopefully you will recognize the type of messaging that I was already conveying. It's a material change in direction that we're doing, that we will get through, and it's all about you. So this town hall, this presentation, all of what we're doing today is about you, our consultancy, our consultants. It's the main asset that we have, and that's why I wanted to thank you very much for your hard work and your contribution. And yeah, let's get on with it. So the agenda that we have today. Next slide, Jen, please. So first of all, we will start by setting the scene in terms of the vision. So Lee will go through that, and then we'll get more practical in terms of our organization of our consultancy task force, mainly in terms of practices. What is the career path for you, and our expectations from you. We will get into details about what we believe a consultancy role is about in terms of contribution and in terms of standards. And then we'll get into some monetary aspects in terms of business leads and how you could contribute to make Quanteam greater, developing the business, increasing the scope of clients and geographies, and you all can play an important role in it. So let's start by the vision. Lee, if you would like to set the scene for us, please.
Hi guys. So I think the message is simple, or the vision is simple, should I say. We're becoming a delivery-led organization. And what I mean by that is delivery is not support to sales. Delivery is not an afterthought. Delivery is our competitive advantage. And what I mean by that is our revenue is our revenue follows reputation, and our reputation is built through delivery. So our expertise, your decision making on site, the way that you deliver projects is what brings work to us. You know, people don't come to Quanteam for their logo. They don't come to Quanteam for, you know, big documents or slide decks. They come for expertise, people who can deliver within the weeds and deliver for our consultancy. So that's the first bit. We're becoming a delivery-led organization. And the rationale behind that change is the market is very competitive. Clients are more demanding and margins are tighter than ever. And where we need to be different is our expertise and our consultants on site. And what I mean by that, again, is you're the strength within the organization. So you're going to help us grow, not just through the delivery that you're doing on those client projects, but also how to be a consultant within this organization and how to help us grow with winning projects, delivering projects, and the content that we will be able to use to win projects. So what this means for you, So just like, I don't want to read off the slide, but essentially this means higher expectation on quality, more ownership for you, more accountability, stronger client impact. That means, and balanced with that, I guess that means more visibility, more trust, more opportunity, and more influence to help us grow the organization. So it really does come down to our consultants and the people on the ground delivering for the clients, who then in turn have an opportunity to grow their careers with Quanteam. Yeah. So in a delivery-led organization, your performance on client site defines our brand, essentially. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. And the commitment and expectations, and I want to be very clear, kind of, we expect ownership, we expect accountability, we expect you to support to deliver at all of that level, you know, and that means going above and beyond for the clients. But realistically, if we lead the delivery with excellence, then growth becomes a consequence of that, because the clients love what we do, we love what we do, and eventually it kind of snowballs into more and more work. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think the next slide, guys.
Yeah, so in order to get more practical, because what we want to emphasize is that we are really a network of advisors, a network of experts, and that's how we want to brand ourselves. So in order to be expert, we have to say which are our areas of expertise, because if you are expert in everything, chances are you're expert in nothing. So we have to be specific in terms of our areas of expertise. We want to be a niche consultancy in specific areas, and we have come up with this list of like big practices or pillars or areas of expertise. They are by no means they are meant to be siloed. They are really very interconnected, but we can see them as 4 major themes. So the order is not reflective of importance. It's more that it's a random order. So we have risk management, which is everything from risk control, second line control, governance frameworks, regulatory compliance, all of the control and risk functions and support functions will sit in the risk management practice. Quantitative finance is about really the mathematical modeling, financial engineering around analytics platforms for financial services. Artificial intelligence is artificial intelligence. We cannot not have a practice around that, because AI is going to reshape the whole of the economy, and in particular our industry, and therefore we have to be present to help our clients navigate the innovation in that area and automate processes, improve decision making, exploit much better the data, which is the most important asset. Then we have digital and technology transformation, which is everything about software engineering, innovation in platforms and digital processes. And as you can see, all of these areas are connected to each other. You can deliver a quant model if it's not in a platform. You can use AI for risk management, for compliance, for fraud detection, etc. And you need a future-proof technology to do all of that. So they are all connected. However, we expect our consultants to be basically to belong to specific practices, and because that's the area of biggest expertise, but we expect closer collaboration within the practice and across the practices. Next slide, please. So what's important in terms of us being a network of consultants is that we really want you to see yourself as on the long run with Quanteam. You can have a career with Quanteam, you can progress towards in the ladder in Quanteam, and therefore we have defined these usual grades that are known in the consultancy world, and we want you to be able to be proud of branding yourself as Quanteam and branding yourself as being on any of these levels in the ladder. So it starts off with consultants, the more junior, all the way to director and partner. So we really show here that there is a path to progress within the organization. It's possible to stay with us many years, 10 years plus, 12 years plus, because it's a career in its own right. It's not, we don't want Quanteam to be seen as an agency just putting you in contact with the client, but really your company to which you belong, the team to which you belong, and your client assignment are just assignments, but your main brand is Quanteam. The way we measure the dimensions of being a consultant are laid out on the right-hand side. So the brand identity is important. We want you to act as ambassador to the brand with your network, with your client, to look for market intelligence, to generate content, to help building solutions and building a knowledge database, to understand client needs, client challenges, to come to client meetings, to act as the content, to help us have content-driven conversation with our clients. To Lee's point earlier, people will come to us because of you, because of the expertise that we have, because they know that they can learn something from us. It becomes a both-way relationship, and that's how we grow the business. That's how we differentiate ourselves versus all the other consultants, is because of the quality of people that we have, and because of the quality of content that we have. So Lee is going to get into more specific in terms of the role of a consultant and the different dimensions to it and what we expect from you.
Just before I change slides, I'll just emphasize the fact that we need all to use the Quanteam email addresses, and also mention Quanteam as either your partner, your employer, whatever on LinkedIn, because it's actually a growing exercise for all of us together. So I would really appreciate if we could all update our communication channels and our brand visibility going forward.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about
yeah.
If you have any questions about brand visibility, just please get in touch.
Yeah, maybe Jen, we could send offline afterwards in a few days something about what good looks like in terms of, for example, a LinkedIn profile, etc. And all of this is win-win in terms of your own career, etc. The more visibility, the more content, the more very visible and affirmed brand, the easier you are found by potential clients, and the easier it is to find your next assignment. So it helps you to grow the network, to grow the business opportunities, and to have clients come to us as much as we go to them.
So just to emphasize what Ramsey was saying there, a consultant's role is essentially 3 jobs in one. And it's 3 pillars. We're looking at delivery, knowledge leadership, and sales and networking. And this starts your own career as a consultant, whether you're very senior or whether you're junior going up the career path. 1/3 of your role is, if you think about a role as in 3 parts, the first part is to client delivery. Deliver what we promise, solve the solutions for the clients, become trusted advisors on that site. And that doesn't mean just that site, it means building your relationships. People move around the network. You, as a consultant, you're not only on there to be the smartest in the room or to help them deliver their projects, but also to build that network. So and I'll come on to that later. The second part is the knowledge leadership, and that is, Ramsey hit on it just now, with your digital footprint on your LinkedIn, but also working with marketing, doing your blogs, doing your white papers, doing your case studies, doing your your articles that you'll have full support on. Your ideas will come to flourish with writers and marketing, and we will put that out on our website, on our LinkedIn, on sometimes within our projects and stuff like that when we're pitching. And the next part is our sales and networking. So what we're saying there is once you build these relationships and you become a trusted advisor, then you're going to be able to spot these opportunities. You're already in the room, and I'll go through this later, but you're already in the room having these discussions on a daily basis, introducing us to new stakeholders, strengthening existing relationships, and they're also like feeding the pipeline and share market intelligence. Because when it becomes to the sales department, and we originally were a sales-led organization, it's always third hand, or it's always, 4 iterations along. You're already with the client, so you're there on a daily basis, budget meetings and etc. I'll go through this again in another slide, but theoretically, you're the core for a delivery-led organization. Not only but your delivery of excellence and helping us grow the organization by maintaining that high level of delivery. You're then building a knowledge leadership function, which is our case studies of our past projects and our future solutions, but also marketing and getting that digital footprint out there. But then we're looking at the sales and networking angle, which is, again, your relationships and building that. We're not asking you to be salespeople. We're asking you to be the trusted advisor of the client, understanding their problems in detail, feeding that back into a kind of an incubator where we can then design solutions and go back out to the market. So next slide. I'm not going to go through this slide in detail. It's how to be a consultant. And what I mean by that is being a consultant is not just a job title, it's a standard. It's a standard we should live and breathe as an organization. It's no different from a PwC, an Accenture, a Deloitte mechanism. When you're a consultant, you show up, you deliver, you look the part on site, and you one time, normally you're the smartest people in the room because you're getting the intel from various practices, and you can get that information quite quickly from your leaders or your other colleagues, etc., etc. And we're going to build up that networking, so you'll be in different chat rooms and stuff like that, so you'll be able to get this feedback quite quickly. But we're not going to operate with a someone else will fix it mindset. So we want you to own it. You own your relationships, you own your projects, you own your delivery, you own your practices. So work ethics, your decision making, it comes down to you. And as I said, your network. This is just another slide on re-emphasizing what I said before. Next slide, I think. So this is what I was talking about in terms of you're already in the room. A simple framework to qualify opportunities to maximize rewards for you guys. And what we've done is we've called it spot it, share it, secure it. And it's a pretty simple framework where effectively you're in the rooms talking to hiring managers. You're normally talking about new projects being scoped out. You're normally talking about doing the hiring, maybe doing the interviews, or you're in budget conversations. As soon as you spot that, you should be able to link that to a qualifying and understanding what the needs are. Then you share it, and what you need to do is you need to understand a project name, you need to understand an introduction to that manager, and you need to bring it back to sales or to the delivery lead in the practice. And we will look at how we can formalize either a solution, or it might be headcount, or it might be a managed service capacity, or whatever that deal is structured like. But as soon as we win that project, there will be an invoice on that, and then you will get paid a fee. And it's quite simple there, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, or 1% of 1 million plus. If you go to the next slide, it just gives you an example. So here you got step 1, step 2, step 3, and the result is £10,000. So it's identify that lead, consultant obviously sees that opportunity in that meeting, connect that and facilitate that to the direct introduction to the hiring manager with either a sales lead or a delivery lead. We will then work out the commercials on that. That's converted into an SOW, and you land a fee of whatever that is. Chevy, you might need to go on to mute. But hopefully that makes sense, that slide, and that obviously you'll get a copy of this deck anyway to see. Next slide. And it's just re-emphasizing this last bit is all about a consultant's mindset. It's about understanding the clients better. It's about spotting pain points for the clients. And these, obviously, these come down to opportunities. But if we can understand the pain points for the clients or what they're going through, we can then fill in or identify the gaps to help them deliver to that capability. So that might be a new regulation coming out. It might be a new modeling technique. It might be a new bit of AI code or a technology that they're bringing into the organization. Once we connect the dots, then we can introduce solutions for clients, build them in the background and present them to win more business. So good questions to ask is, who owns the budget for this? What happens after this phase? Etc. etc. We're going to run sessions on this anyway. We're going to build more practice content, and we're going to build more workshops and get you more involved. As I said, we're going to become a more delivery-led organization, which means really the company is all down to you. The representation is down to you. The leads and quality that we get in from you is excellent. And then obviously we'll build that out to build your footprint as well on the digital side.
Yeah. So it's really important that, I mean, this really emphasizes the concept of you belonging to the organization. So this is just an example of what the way you could contribute to business growth, but this only means that you feel that you belong to Quanteam. You belong to Quanteam as a network. You are part of a practice. You are part of a bigger network of consultants. You connect with your other consultants and the practice across the practices. We are going to have org charts within the consultants, with junior consultants reporting to senior consultants. We expect people to have consultants mentor to help them if they are junior. You should be able to reach out to more senior consultant for advice, for a piece of content, to unlock you if you are facing a specific issue with your client. So generating business, this is just one example of how you could make more money by bringing business leads. But as we have explained before, this basically requires you to do more work than just the work that you are doing at your client, because we don't want to compromise on the quality of work that you do for your client. So this is extra mile that you're doing in terms of spotting business opportunities, helping qualifying the client need, help design the solution to address the need, help qualifying the right team to put with the client to help solve the problem, come along in client meetings to be, as Lee mentioned, the smart person in the room. So we don't want to have meetings with clients with just sales around the table. We want specific people to join that understand what the client is talking about, that are able to have an opinion on how the client could solve the problem that he has at hand. So all of that is additional work that you're doing on top of your assignments. So it means maybe some weekend work, some work above hours, like this meeting that we invited you to, and you are perfectly entitled to expect to be compensated and rewarded in front of it. And besides this example that Lee mentioned in terms of business lead generation fees, we are going to carve out additional variable pay to compensate people for the amount of effort that they are putting for the brand, for Quanteam, to help indeed win business. Because as I said, if you just spot a business opportunity and then leave it there, maybe it won't materialize. We still need our consultants to help qualifying the candidates, qualify the solution, understanding the client problem, come along in subsequent meeting with the client to understand what the right solution should be. So, and that networking, content generation, all of that is additional work, and we will have additional variable pay in place to compensate, and that doesn't depend on your status with us. You could be perm with us or contracting with us. That's an admin detail. It doesn't change anything in terms of how you are interested in the financial term, meaning to the growth of the business, to the growth of Quanteam. So it's really a massive change in mindset. I know from the conversation that I had with many of you that you have welcomed the prospect. We will need to help each other to make it happen. It's not going to be overnight. It will take time, etc. But we wanted to set the scene that there is the will, the ambition, the financial investment to make it happen, because we know this is the only way to survive in this very competitive business, is to differentiate ourselves and to become the go-to consultancy for all of these areas of expertise because of our experts that we have. And we want you to believe in this ambition, because we are going to make it happen all together. We're not going to be, without you, we can't make it happen. It's not going to happen. So that's why it's important for us to set the scene for you from the start and have your buy-in and your contribution, hopefully.
Yeah, and just to reiterate what Ramsey said there, we're not going to differentiate if you're a contractor or you're perm in the organization for the variable pay. We really want your input, insights, and value add to make this work. As I said, we've built the practices now. We know what we're trying to do. It's down to us making it all work together with the right people in the right spots in the practices. But that does mean, when we have meetings with clients, we would like you more involved in that. We want people to step up and be involved in growing solutions or designing solutions, coming to us with opportunities, helping us write white papers and blogs and articles, and all of this kind of fun stuff that it's great for your brand as well. And as I said about the LinkedIn, if you're putting Quanteam as your main employee or employer, you can also put what client site you've been on, because some of you have been on multiple client sites, so HSBC, BNP Paribas, Santander, or whatever. You can have all of that underneath. But what we're trying to do is obviously build a brand that we, are servicing these clients, and this is our talent pool, and these are our experts.
Exactly. So we really want to be known as the engineering technical quanti version of EY. If you can think of how EY or Deloitte, the likes of this work, that's our objective. Is really to be the technical, the engineer, the quant experts, that people come to us as much as we go to them, because it's a two-way conversation. Our conversation with the client will no longer be, do you have headcount, do you have budgets? It will be more along the lines of, what is your problem? How can I help you? Because sometimes when you have the content, the expertise, the experience, the client might not even know that we can help them. By having a privileged relationship, we have open up, like we have transparent conversation and detailed conversation that will then end up generating business because of that continuous conversation. That doesn't start off with, do you like this CV, or how many headcounts do you have? It becomes a casual, regular conversation, so that we are aware at all times about what's coming next.
Should we open up to questions?
And obviously, we know that in this type of setting, people are not always like very easy in terms of asking, and that's why there is the slider there that you can use without quoting your name if you want to, or you can, after the meeting, for however long you want, reach out for precise questions about what we discussed about.
Can I ask a quick question?
Of course.
Sure.
It's Andrew. So what action points do you expect us to take away from this? I mean, what can we start doing? I mean, meeting the clients and getting business ideas. Okay, I understand that, but what action points should we take away from this?
So in practical terms, so what we're going to do is, to begin with, we're going to create teams group for each practice and put all of the people, depending on what practice they belong to, we have already assigned grades, you know, on that ladder to every one of you. So we will create basically the communication channel to make it easy to communicate among us, and we will use more and more the chats to discuss what's going on. We already have indeed client meetings, and we will start proposing whether people would like to join this call or this meeting or this. So we're going to start to do that. And Andrew, you know very well that, for example, last week you attended a meeting that I invited you to. So the likes of these will become more regular. And it might mean that, for example, we go to a meeting and then we'll ask the consultants, can you take away this and come up with a proposal? And then we expect him to work on that and come back to us. And in the chat, we can discuss it. We can have other consultants contribute and have ideas. Etc. So to have those channels of communication, everyone will see what's going on, and everyone will be able to opine and say, I have an idea. You see something passing, you can comment on it, etc. And this is how we enrich the conversation. We stop having just sides conversation, one-to-ones, and have everything in public within the practice and across the practices, and that will foster like a culture of communication and manufacturing of ideas that can then be turned up into solution, into content. Then we can go back to the client and say, we have discussed internally and this is what we think. And does it answer your question, Andrew?
Yeah.
I think, Andrew, just to add to that, I think once we have the practices, like we've got the practices defined and the people who are going to be potentially going into each practice, there will be probably a discussion of like, do you feel that this is the right practice for you? I'm sure Ramsey's been going through that with you. And then there will be some topics within each practice to start working on as a group, you know, whether that be some articles or hot topics or solutions for clients that we know are coming up to get the ball rolling. There will be stuff to discuss within those practices as well. I don't think we're going to go into the details of all of that now, but that's the kind of the next phase really. So it'll be rolled out to the practices. You'll join whatever practice that is with those group of people, and then you start working through those topics. And then obviously the client leads and the supporting the sales function of getting onto new client topics.
But indeed, Andrew, to add, so we are going to appoint like leads for those practices, as I have certainly mentioned to most of you, and we expect the lead of practice to sort of animate. I don't know whether we use that word in English, like to you know, to try. So to begin with, like reach out to the consultants in that practice that he is leading to know them. So we expect him, for example, to try to have calls with them, to know them, so that they know that they can reach out to him, etc. Anyway, these leadership announcements will be sent to all of you, so you will know who is the lead of your practice, which practice you belong to. We will send out emails for that. Obviously, we can discuss all of that. People can reach out and challenge the practices that were assigned to them. So all of that is open for debate. It's really starting point, like just to trigger the conversation, etc. And then we want people to start to reach out and I will probably ask that some regular workshops for each practice is organized once a month or something, so that we have a round table and everyone speaks about what they're doing at their client, what are the most recent topics, are there potential business leads, etc. So to basically to encourage that type of sourcing, that type of open your ear, like you walk in a corridor, you hear something, you get in the habit of paying attention to what's happening around you, to think out of the box. Obviously, more senior people will be more easy to do this than juniors, of course, but it's something that you learn. As a consultant, you learn that you can also help your company grow.
Exactly. Is there any more questions?
Yeah, Kumar just raised his hand. So if you unmute yourself, over to you.
Yeah. Hi, thanks a lot for this presentation. So my question is that how do you grow within Quanteam? Because as you mentioned that Quanteam is no longer or doesn't want to be a recruitment agency, it want to be a full-fledged consulting firm. So in consulting firm, you have things like step-up opportunities, you have multiple clients, you have incentives for performing, and so you can win more projects, more clients. So if I see a career in Quanteam, or how is this going to look like? Would it can I get more clients in the future to work for? Can I have step up opportunities? Is there a structure to it, or do I have to ask you? I want to change something. How is this going to look like if I take your word that yeah, it is going to be a consulting like EY, Deloitte, something like that?
So Kumar, and I will let Lee comment on some of your questions. So indeed, so first of all, this is not like overnight. We're not going to wake up tomorrow in the morning and it's already in place. It's progressive. So when we say that there is a career path, it means that there is a proper HR process. It means that you're going to report into more senior consultants. You're going to have end of year reviews with another consultants more senior that you report into, and this is what will define your progression. You will have performance evaluation that is a function of how you are committed to Quanteam, what have you done to help Quanteam grow at your level. It could be by contributing to interviewing candidates. It could be in terms of generation of content. It could be in terms of what the client that you're working, the feedback of the clients you're working on, all of that will form part of your review process and the way you progress towards the ladder. The ladder. So, like in a proper organization, if you are working in a bank, you will have banding and you will have promotion process that is HR that is a framework that HR defines. So the same will exist here. So instead of being like a network of orphan consultants that don't know each other, etc. And whenever you are at the client, you will not hear about Quanteam for the duration of the assignment. We are going to have regular catch-ups, regular follow-ups with your manager, etc. You know what I did for the last 2 months, which is to speak to every one of you. I will expect an org chart in place of consultants. Everyone will have consultants reporting into them, and I expect them to be monitoring them, to be meeting them, to be making sure that everything is all right, etc. And that's how we are in a position to judge your performance. If we don't speak to you, how can we be in a position to reward you and to get you promoted? So yeah, absolutely, all of that will change. But again, you need to bear with us. We have to do it together, and we will progressively put it in place.
Thank you. Please.
Sorry,
Please.
Kumar. And just to add to that, I think just to answer a couple of your questions, as we evolve, we are going to win more projects that are going to be outcome-based deliverables or fixed price projects, which are delivered from Quanteam solution or something that we've designed for the client. So as we win more of these style work, we will be more able to move consultants around to different opportunities, and that obviously helps you grow your career. There is one aspect of helping you grow your career is bringing in opportunities and growing it down that path in terms of, you know, an opportunity led and being the lead on that project or one of the leads maybe on that project. The other one is to go through the career path in moving around and moving up the scale by doing the things that we need from consultant to manager to senior manager to director level. And with those opportunities, you will automatically move into different projects, because as we move to different projects, so just give you an example, if say you're a senior consultant and you're paid at a rate for a senior consultant by a HSBC, for example, and we win a new project on Santander and you're coming up for promotion to go to a manager, we would probably move you on to that project as one of the managers and then backfill you in your current organization with another senior consultant. or if you wanted to stay there and they wanted to keep you, they'd have to pay the manager rate for you, etc. So there is a lot more opportunity to move around once we own the projects. At the moment, and this isn't to say we're not a consultancy today. I know you mentioned about being a recruitment agency. We're not a recruitment agency. We've always been a consultancy, but where we've been more of a sales-led organization, the sales team have been winning a lot of the projects, which tend to be 1 or 2 people on a project. What we want to do is transfer to a delivery outcome-based organization, which means we will design the solution, we will give the expertise, and then we will build the end-to-end project, and that becomes a bigger team, a bigger organization, and that's what the bigger consultancies do, rather than placing 1 or 2 people on a project or bums on seats as kind of staff augmentation kind of consultancy work. We would do more outcome-based deliverable project work.
Yeah,
Hope
it's
that
not how
answers your
many.
question.
It's not how many headcounts you need. It's really what's your problem. I understand your problem, and then I tell you, the solution is this, and you will need this type of resources to do it. That's the that's the change in the type of conversation that we will be having with our clients. Obviously, we will always continue to do resources augmentation, but the conversation will always start by, can we discuss your problem? Because I want to understand your problem, because I might have a valuable opinion in terms of how to solve it, what type of crew, what type of skill sets, because I know how competitive, how your peers are doing with the same problem. You know, people go to EY because they think they can learn what other banks are doing. That's what we want to read. That's the sort of model that we want to reach.
Yeah. And like
Okay,
Ramsey said, that isn't going to happen. Sorry, go on, Kuma.
Yeah. And I have a quick follow-up. By the way, I'm talking from Poland. So how does your business in Poland look like? What are the opportunities here? Because I am asking this question. It's kind of funny because last week I was called by my bank for verification, and the reason was that they can't find my employer on Google. So they actually wanted to verify if I have a real job or not.
Yeah,
So
and I think, Kumar, let me just quickly answer that. So one, it is a new region for us. We are very invested in growing it. We have only 2 clients there currently, and our major client is HSBC. I worked for another consultancy for over a decade and was one of the partners there who grew out Poland, and I can see the opportunity there. We ended up growing to about 200 people in that location, and we want to do the same here. At the moment, we're about 25 people out there, and we're obviously looking to grow quite significantly. So we've got people in Wrocław, we've got people in Warsaw, we've got people in Gdańsk, and then we've got our major hub where HSBC is. So I think to answer your question, it is definitely at the front of our mission to grow Poland. Well, I'm out there next month, and we've got quite a few open projects on the go at the moment. So to reiterate, it's the same path as we've got on the slide here. We will be hiring a head of delivery out there and a center of excellence, and it'll be one of our missions to grow Poland.
Yeah, not only Poland, but as many nearshore and offshore locations. But we also started working on India as well, because in this business we have to be present in those locations so that we can follow the budget. If our clients say, okay, we're going to run this off India or off Poland, we can say we're off. We have to be able to be present to help them wherever their location strategy is.
Okay, thank you. And just a small thing that Poland is nowhere on your website as well. So it becomes at least difficult for me to
The website
convince
is
that
work in progress.
It is definitely a work in progress, but you will see it very soon.
Okay, thank you. That's it for me. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Come on. Anybody else? Anything on Slido? Jen?
Nothing on Slido, but please feel free to pop a question even after the session. I will make sure to answer it.
Yeah, hi, Lee, Ramsey. I just want to check. You'll be sharing the PDF, right?
Absolutely.
We will share a recording of this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Hi, Oliver. And Oliver, I'll be in Poland soon, so we can we're trying to touch base when I'm out there as well, because we're going to try and get around everywhere to Wrocław and Warsaw to the other consultants as well. Or we'll make
Well-
sure that it's a day when you're in Krakow.
But if you're going to be in Wrocław, I won't have to go to Krakow.
No, but you have to go in certain days, don't you? We could try and mix it so we're in the same place.
Yeah. Let's try and see that we're in the same place, Lee. You know,
Yes,
it'd be a
definitely.
shame. All right.
I know. I have you as Oliver Williams for some reason.
That's
you
correct.
have another. Okay, because
Okay.
I can see Oliver Pretty in the screen there, but I saw a booking, but somehow
Yeah.
it didn't work. I connected, but no one turned up. Okay,
Okay.
email me. My email is super easy, and we'll find a way to meet.
Okay. Sure. Good. All right.
Is there any other questions, guys?
For me, no.
No.
Yeah. So please, and I mean, obviously, as Jen said, please do take the time to look at this and ask any questions and make suggestions, because we by no means we're not claiming that we know everything about how this should work, etc. So we would welcome any opinions, any suggestions about how we should run this, and that's back to my point earlier. We will do this together. So we need your help to make it a success, and I'm sure it will.
Agree. So lastly, I think we just say thank you for your hard work for last year, all of your expertise on client side. The feedback that we get is normally outstanding. So the credit to that is why we win more projects. Now we want to be more aligned to the client's needs with our expertise, and hopefully build a better future in terms of the way that we go into clients, in terms of what we can do added value wise. We've got great consultants, so I have no doubt that once we get the practices up and running, the contributions from you guys will be tenfold, and we'll be inundated with new opportunities.
Yeah, please do set up your Quanteam email address and Quanteam teams, as I'm going to start creating chat rooms, etc. And there will be announcement emails about leadership and the practices, etc. So please make sure that you are reachable, at least, so that you can see the comms and you can contribute. And we understand that people will take more time than others in terms of coming along, etc. But progressively, we want to strengthen our sense of belonging to the same team, to the same company, and that becomes what comes first. But we're going to help each other make it a success. Thank you very much for attending, and thank you very much for 2025. And we look forward for even a brighter 2026.